A calm and confident-looking panel just hours before Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana tabled his midterm budget policy statement. The big news, South Africa has lowered its inflation target, which was between 3 and 6%.
What then, as the governor says, what is in the interest of the country in the light of circumstances? Are the short-term costs, which you will see when people ask you about the fiscal side of things, which we see some short-term costs, are they not outweighed by the long-term benefits? And in taking that into account, we decided that we must agree with the governor.
The minister says the move should make life a bit cheaper for consumers in the years ahead. That's music to the Reserve Bank's ears. Governor Lesetja Kganyago's been saying it for months. Once inflation walks in, public trust walks out.
There's only one winner here today. It's the South Africans who are now going to enjoy a low inflation economy, which would mean that the consideration about inflation is taken out of the decision-making process of investors and out of the purchasing decisions of our prices.
But here's the catch. A reduced inflation target means lower nominal GDP, which results in the government earning a little less in taxes. The South African Revenue Service says it's ready to step up its collections with new tools and more hands on deck.
So we do expect that in the second half of the year, we've reported 47 billion in the first half of the year, but that probably is more 4 months rather than 6 months at full speed. Our latest estimate, if we add in October, we are now standing at about 57 billion. So we see October is higher than the average 6 months before that, and we expect that will grow.
Still, Godongwana and his team says it's not just about collecting more, but about spending smarter.
So the structural reforms are critically important, but then dealing with debt to escape the low growth trap is absolutely critical. And the fact that we have peaked debt to GDP this year, or we are going to be peaking debt to GDP this year, and we've made the announcement now, is one of the critical mechanisms to get out of the low growth trap, because over time, the less you spend in debt service costs, the more you can invest into both infrastructure and public services as well. So that's the critical thing to understand about where we are on low growth.
If all goes according to plan, that discipline could open the door for more interest rate cuts sooner rather than later. This could mean a little more money in pockets, as well as a boost for businesses and jobs.
And we should not even postpone it, wait for February. We must do it now.
National Treasury now expects the economy to grow by 1.2% this year, slightly lower than the earlier forecast of 1.4%. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo in Pretoria.